Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Tell Me More show. This morning, I have a wonderful guest on. Her name is Ivanna, and Ivanna is a certified nutritionist and personal trainer with a degree in complementary medicine. I have to read this, and now working in the field of nutrigenomics. Good morning, Ivanna.
Good morning, Kel-Anne, and good morning, everyone. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you. Actually, I'm used to calling you Ivy. So, but the official name is Ivanna.
That's right.
Yeah, we've been trying to do this interview for so long now with our schedules. It just hasn't worked. And then I think I wasn't well at one stage, and then I had to postpone it. And oh my goodness, so we're finally here. It's taken a couple of months.
Absolutely, and I guess that's life.
It is.
So,
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I want everyone to get to know you more. So I'm going to start off with, where were you born and where did you grow up?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm based now currently in Sydney, Australia, but I was actually born, and a lot of people don't know this, I was actually born in New Delhi.
Oh, wow.
I was born in New Delhi and in a little nursing home. And I think somewhere between 3 and 6 months, we moved to Dubai. And I lived in Dubai until I was 5 years old. And my biggest memory from living in Dubai was we were on the ice skating ring every single afternoon from the age of like 2 right up to 5. And then from Dubai, we came over to Australia. And we kind of jumped states for a little while. So we were in Canberra for a while, then Canberra. Then we moved to South Africa and we were in South Africa for a few months. And then we came to Sydney. And then, based in Sydney predominantly, I did my primary school in St Ives in a Catholic school there. And then went to St Leo's College in Wahroonga, moved up to the Central Coast for a little while. So very familiar with the Central Coast. And then came back to Sydney. So sort of jumped around a little bit.
That sounds a bit like my life. I didn't go overseas like that, but where I had about 9 moves.
Yeah. I don't think I've been in one house longer than 5 years.
Yeah, I think we were like 2.5 years, and then that was it. We'd be out and somewhere else. So I can understand how you were feeling. But what nationality are your parents that you were born in Delhi?
Yeah, so they're both expats. So my mum has actually got a Spanish-French background. And my dad, he was also in India as well, but he's also got British background as well, so Indian-British. So Anglo-Indian is what you would...
Anglo-Indian.
Oh, Anglo-Indian.
Wow,
yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. What an interesting journey you had. Oh my goodness. And I can relate to the North Shore because I lived on the North Shore. We moved on around the North Shore many times, apart from other places I've lived in Australia. But I finished my schooling on the North Shore, and I went to Roseville Ladies College, which is near Chatswood.
Yeah. So
I'm aware of what you're talking about, because when we lived at St Ives, I know the school that you're talking about at St Ives that you would have gone to. Yeah. So there you go. But yeah, that really surprises me that you were born over there. That's terrific.
Yeah. I was having a conversation with a friend just yesterday, and she was like, "Were you born overseas? I didn't know that." So there you go.
Now everybody knows.
That's it. That's right.
So okay, so you went to school and you finished. Did you say you finished high school in St Ives at the school there?
So I did the good first part of my high schooling in St Leo's College in Wahroonga, and then
Wahroonga. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I did the last 2 years of my high schooling in a Seventh-day Adventist school up on the Central Coast, in a tiny town called Kurrambong.
Oh, I know that very well.
Yeah. So I finished there, and then I was just sort of trying to find my feet, figure out what I wanted to do. Just working, in hospitality, and then I came back to Sydney around 25 and been in Sydney since.
So you started off in hospitality?
Yeah, and then realised very quickly that I didn't want to be in that environment and that scene, especially because I was working, predominantly hotels and late nights, and I was more interested in the health side of things. And so I just sort of steered towards that direction.
So that's when you started getting interested in it. Was, were your family interested in nutrition and health as well? Is that sort of where you got the idea from, or were you around friends that were interested in it? What did start that off?
My mum's always been very fascinated and interested in health. So, from the time that I can remember, we were taking multivitamins and, being conscious of, what we were eating and that sort of stuff. So with mum's interest in health, my interest grew, from learning and observing her. And then I decided that I wanted to go and study naturopathy or nutrition at some point, personal training at some point in my early 20s, but I didn't go down that avenue straight away. It was only in my late 20s I actually decided to take the plunge, and I was working in corporate office in Sydney when I did come to Sydney, and I decided that I wasn't enjoying the corporate world.
Yeah.
I decided to then follow my passions and go and study. So I've been in the health and wellness space now for just over a decade.
Wow.
Yeah.
Loving it, obviously.
Absolutely loving it. Our health is our wealth, which I
oh my God, it is.
So yeah.
Complementary, so the degree in complementary medicine, so that's basically about nutrition.
Yeah, so it's a broad degree. It's a Bachelor of Health Sciences majoring in complementary medicine. So when I finished my advanced diploma in nutritional medicine, I felt like I still wanted to know more. I wanted to sort of add something further to it, to my certification. And so I decided to go to uni. And when I saw the Bachelor of Health Sciences and Complementary Medicine, that sort of ticked off all the boxes on the broader scale, but also I was able to really pick my subjects and electives to be really nutrition focused, just to add that extra bit of knowledge on top of what I've already taken from the advanced diploma. So yeah, that was a degree that just sort of helped cement, I guess, my studies from my previous course, and just help along, my path and what I was doing. And then
for being a personal trainer too, Ivanna, I mean, nutrition, that's so important,
absolutely.
Because, someone can work out as much as they want, but if they're not eating properly, their body's fighting itself.
There's no point. Yeah. As I say, you can't out-train a bad diet. There's no point, So yeah, when I after I finished my certifications, I was working in a health office with a team of naturopaths and Chinese herbalists and different backgrounds, and we again, I kind of realized that I didn't want to be based in an office in that sort of corporate situation. So I decided to study personal training. I'd met my husband, who was back then my boyfriend, who was a personal trainer in the gym, and my best friends were personal trainers in the gym. They're like, "Why don't you come join us?" So I was like, "Yes." Great idea. So I did my personal training certifications, and then got into the gym environment, which meant that I could work with clients on the personal training aspect, but I was the only personal trainer in the gym that had all the nutrition behind me. So I was able to really just support a lot of the members in the gyms from a nutrition aspect, and help a lot of the personal trainers clients from my own and other PTs in the gym with their clients and nutrition. So I think, especially in the personal training world, a lot of people become personal trainers, and then they go and add nutrition on because they realize it's so important. But for me, it was the other way.
Yeah.
Did all the nutrition stuff, and then wanted to, be more in a consulting one-to-one client role, in a more active role. And so I got into the gym, and it was the best time. And then I got pregnant, and married and then pregnant, and left the gym environment and my nutrition clinic, and I've been at home since. But yeah,
it's probably so busy with what you're doing, and going in now to the field of nutrigenomics. So all that combined, I mean, what you've learned has sort of brought you into the nutrigenomics world. So now you've got even more to offer everybody. And if anyone wants to know more about nutrigenomics, contact Ivy or myself, and we'll be able to explain that to you, because I'm also working in that field myself now. So and loving it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of,
Reach out to Kel-Anne.
Oh, thank you. Now, you've got a series called Pathways to Health, where you do interviews. So afterwards, I'm going to put links in the comments to, so everyone can find you, and we'll put a link into that. You do that on Instagram and Facebook, am I right?
Yeah, so I've actually got a couple of interview series. So Pathways to Health is just on Facebook. It's on my Facebook profile, Ivanna, which is a public profile, so anyone can sort of tune in and watch those interviews if they'd like to, or go to my YouTube channel. But basically, I believe there's many ways to achieve optimum health. And we don't necessarily get the answers that we're looking for when we're on our healing journey and health journey from mainstream medicine. And often there's a lot that we can actually just do from the natural and alternative health space before even having to contemplate going to mainstream medicine. And, I'm not knocking mainstream medicine. It's got a place for sure. But there's, a lot more that we can achieve in our health, I believe, with natural holistic practices that don't always come with the side effects. So the Pathways to Health interviews is really just to shine a light on all the amazing practitioners and modalities that are out there, so people can start to become aware of what options there are, because you don't know what you don't know, right?
Exactly.
So, then when they might face a period where they're feeling dis-ease in their body, or in their health, or even on an emotional level, they can start to think of people that might actually be able, or modalities that might actually be able to just help them before they go straight to their medical practitioner, and they might just get some success from that instead. So it's really just about opening the public's eyes to all the different options that are out there, because there's just, the body is extremely complex. It is incredible as well. And, there's many amazing modalities and practitioners out there that, can help in that process. So
I've seen a couple of your interviews, and they've been incredible, really. Like you said, there's so many different modalities out there, and they're working, they're really helping people.
Yeah,
children to the elderly. It's helping so many people.
Yeah, absolutely. Even in my own journey, and I've been blessed with pretty good health my whole entire life, but even when I did face a health challenge, recently, 5 years ago or 4 years ago, mainstream medicine had nothing to offer. I think a lot of people come up against that, and it was going through all the different amazing modalities that I did to help my body heal. And I thought, wow, people don't know that there's these options out there. So
no, they don't. And with my journey, I had had health issues, and I had reactions to pharmaceuticals, so that made me search for natural alternatives. And I've for the last 10 years or more, I've seen an integrative doctor and a naturopath, and that really helps. And I've now seeing them, probably over the last 5 years, I've been able to see them in the same practice, so they communicate with each other. Before that, I had a doctor and a naturopath, and they didn't talk to each other. And now my naturopath and my doctor are actually good friends, and they work in the same building, and they communicate about my case. So I find that really beneficial. But years ago, that you wouldn't have heard of anything like that happening. But we're learning more. We're learning more, and that's becoming more a common practice, isn't it? To have a naturopath inside a doctor's surgery.
Exactly. And even more doctors over time are becoming more aware of the importance of nutrition. They're starting to, add on nutritional studies. They're starting to add on, functional medicine, all those sorts of practices that really help patients and clients, in their healing journey. So
without the side effects.
Yes, that's right. As I say, food is medicine.
Yes.
Your food be thy medicine, and your medicine be thy food.
Yes, exactly. So you're working from home. You're a young mum, and and sometimes because of your husband's work, you're there by yourself. You're a part-time single mum, and then when he's home, we were talking about it earlier, it's like you were saying, it's like Christmas when he comes home every couple of weeks or few weeks, whatever it is, and you get that time together. So you're busy, you're juggling, all that. What advice do you have for other young mums out there,
Absolutely.
how they can cope with having a home-based business?
Yeah, so it can, for mums that are considering wanting to work from home or do a home-based business and think, how can I manage it when I've got little kids? It can feel overwhelming at the thought, but I think it's really important for our children to see us, mums, following our dreams and our passions, having that vision for ourselves and our families, and for the greater world. And I think children respect that. Of course, when they're little, like my daughter's 5, and when I started working from home predominantly, she was only 2, so they don't understand that at that age. When they're babies. But I think it's really important to just separate your time when you're doing work and your time when you're with the child. So when you're with your child, you're present, you're not multitasking, trying to do work stuff at the same time. And then when you're actually spending some time on the business or on your work, you are focused in that, and you're not trying to juggle with the kids. So whether you do that while the child's sleeping and then you do a little bit of work, which is what often I use. Hayley, she's only just finished her naps once she turned 5, so I used her nap time as time to try and get some work done in the early morning hours before she wakes up. I try and maximize a little bit of time. If she goes to bed early, at 7 o'clock, then after she goes to bed, then I'll maximize some time in the evening as well. So it's really just using the time where you can, where they're napping, or they're doing an activity where you can then do that little bit of work, and just being gentle on yourself. Don't be strict in your routine, knowing that you've just got to go with the ebb and flow of the day and the child and their energy and what they're up to, and fitting in what you can where you can.
That's great advice. Yes, being present with them, and it's not they're looking over and mum's on her phone again, doing something, and it's like they're not getting the attention, and that doesn't send a good message to a child. So yeah, I think that's fabulous advice, because they grow up fast. I've got 8 grandchildren now.
Wow.
And it doesn't seem that long ago, Ivy, that my kids were young. It does go quickly, so that time with them is so precious. So that's great advice for young mums, and even stay-at-home dads.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Enjoy your children. They grow up so quick. Yeah. All they want is your attention and time. So give that to them, and then in the nooks and crannies where you can, spend that little time building your business and building your vision and your dreams and what you want to achieve for your family, because that's important too.
And when you can, take them with you to things. I know that you've taken her to events at times, and she loves it. She gets so much attention. Everyone, just because she's so gorgeous. She's a beautiful little thing. And so that I remember that with my mum. My mum was a singer and an actress, and I remember her taking me to her shows and watching her, and that's my mum over there, sort of thing. So it's a lovely memory that memories that she's going to have when she grows up.
Absolutely. Have them involved where you can. As you said, I take Hayley to everything. Meetings, if we're running events, which we do a lot of face-to-face events, she's there at all of them. And she's watching me presenting. She's helping set up the event, pack down the event. And
we had to do it for you soon.
And then she gets a little reward at the end. So yesterday she was like, "Yes, we're going more clothes shopping again." So let them be excited by what you're doing, and then also be rewarded, for being included and part of it and well behaved and all of those things.
Oh, that's so lovely. All right, so now you've got your beautiful family, and you know, you're working from home, and at the moment your husband's away, and then, you know, he comes home. What's your vision for the future of your family? You know, I've got a feeling that it could be that, you know, you're all together all the time. That could be, you know, one goal that you have. That, you know, what for your, that's for you, probably for your family, but what goals and visions do you have for your business, you know, of how you're helping people, all that sort of thing, you know? Have you sort of thought about that at all?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question, Kel-Anne. So, you know, definitely you hit the nail on the head with the start of that. For me, my very first goal is to retire hubby so he can be home with us all the time. He is working away from home, so I'm alone a lot of the time. Luckily, I'm blessed with an amazing relationship with my gorgeous mum, and she lives just down the road, so she's here to help out a lot. But it's definitely to retire my hubby and have him home full time, so my daughter and I can, you know, enjoy his presence a lot more. And then, you know, I'm working with mums, helping them to achieve their dreams, their goals, you know, figure out that juggle between kids and business life. And, you know, for them, a lot of it is that they don't want to go back into the workforce. So, they don't necessarily want, once they finish maternity leave, they don't want to go back in and be away from their children. They also want to be home and present. So it's helping them achieve their goals. And I think, you know, from a health perspective, just helping as many people really just live as a healthier life as possible, you know, away from dis-ease states, so they can be their best selves, because, you know, our health is everything, and when you're your best self, it has a ripple effect through everything that you do, and on all your relationships and how you show up and how you feel. And it's really important that everyone can have that great feeling of health as well. So yeah,
no, that's beautiful. I love that. Yes, helping your family and everyone around you.
Absolutely.
Well, it's been so good chatting with you today. I've learned some things that I did not know. So, you know, it's just been wonderful, and I'm so happy that I've been able to let everyone know more about you. And as I said, I'm going to put the links in the comments so that they can find you and find your interviews. And I think you do them on Instagram too, do you do some over there, or it's mainly Facebook?
Yeah, so on Instagram, my handle is Ivanna_Ruger, and that series is called Women Who Influence. So that is really a women's empowerment series. I think it's really important as women that we are cheering each other on, that we are supporting each other. We've all got a lot of value and knowledge to offer out there in the world. And I think the more that we support and encourage each other in that way, the better the world will be. So that series is really just shining a light again on all the amazing women out there that are you know, helping other people, influencing other people to be their best selves, in whatever, you know, again, whatever capacity that is, whether it's in the health space or something different. And it's just another little fun series that I've recently started. So
fantastic. All right, well, we'll put a link.
I'll have to get you on.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
I'm in. But I'll put the link in the comments so people can find that as well.
Amazing.
Have you put anything up on YouTube yet? Have you started a YouTube channel?
I have actually started a YouTube channel. Again, it's just Ivanna Ruger. There's quite a bit of content on there. So there's a lot of the pathways to health interviews that are on there. The Instagram ones are just on Instagram. There's a little stuff on children's nutrition that's up on there. So there's a little bit of content up there, so you can check out my YouTube channel.
Fantastic. All right, well, we'll put those links in too.
Amazing.
Okay.
Well, Kel-Anne, thank you so much for having me on the show. I'm usually the interviewer, so
I know.
Side of the fence today.
Yeah, the shoe's on the other foot today.
Yeah.
But it has been fantastic, and I've just loved getting to know you even more. It's just amazing. So thank you very, very much. We finally did it. We finally got here. And thank you to everyone for tuning in. And I'll see you next week for another Tell Me More show. So bye for now.